Okay, so hey guys, welcome back to another interview. Today I'm back with Ryan Amos. Ryan, victorious again. How are we feeling, mate?
Thank you. I'm feeling really good, thanks. Yeah, I'm feeling really good.
Amazing. And of course, it was coming back of a loss, but now it's getting back to winning ways. And did you feel comfortable with that fight?
Yeah, I felt really comfortable. I enjoyed it. Thought I was going to get him out of there, but you know what? It's enjoyable. I needed advance again, so yeah.
No, it was definitely a fight which, of course, you managed to get the rounds in, but you looked like the clear and obvious better boxer. And but some of the fundamentals that you were using, the jab was amazing. And is that something that you've been training very hard?
Yeah, I've been working on it. I've been working on the job. I've been working on being a lot more comfortable in the ring and not just trying to have a tear up all the time. Just utilizing my strengths and then work on my weaknesses, really. So, yeah, I've just been working on it all.
And going into this fight, when I saw you about just before it, you seemed a bit more maybe comfortable to an extent. Maybe did you feel like going into that fight versus Janae Boston, you were maybe getting overlooked a bit too much, and was that frustrating you a little bit?
Yeah, you know what? Funny enough, I've been up to his gym, did some work with him, did some work with a few other guys. He's a nice guy, man. We really had a good chat. What it was for me, it wasn't the preparation with training. It was the preparation for the atmosphere and the experience. I feel like for me, it was when I got there, felt like they overlooked me. They didn't look at the fact that I was a millions champion. They didn't really talk about my accolades or anything. So I felt really out of place when I got up there. And I had to remember it's a business as well. Other than that, I felt like I just felt like it was something new for me. You know, like obviously on a small hall shows, then I stepped on somewhere and the cameras. It's like even going into the changing rooms, they follow you with the cameras and stuff. So it was kind of weird. I wasn't used to it. First, I mean the last 3 fights, I've been in the away corner, getting the title on the road as well. But at the same time, when you're stepping onto the zone on a big show on the away corner, it felt different. You know what I mean? And a lot of people wasn't allowed around me because they didn't have their licenses and the badges at the same time. So I felt like I was with my team. I felt like there wasn't enough people around us to make me feel comfortable like I was at home. Because when I fought for the title, it was only around the corner, and it felt like a home show. You know what I mean? So I just picked up from the experience this time, and then today just from that fight, getting the exposure and getting on a big stage where a lot of big fighters have fought on, it just made me realise that this is where I need to be. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Completely. And was there any, coming off the defeat, was there any kind of dark days for you, and was there anything which helped you motivation-wise, if needed?
Dark days, I would say, like I was in the ring thinking like the last 2 rounds, like I've got to knock him out and I've got to try and get a big finish. But at the same time, funny enough, I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to post the next day? Because that's what you go off. You know what I mean? You go off, everyone, you know, people like to see your highs. No one really wants to see your lows. So I'm thinking to myself, Jesus, social media, what I'm going to post now? And I said to myself, you know what, fuck it, it's a day. You know what I mean? Everything's forgotten by tomorrow. Worst thing about people, they're scared about public humiliation. But when I went back to my hometown, everybody sung my song like I was a hero. So it was just nice to know that when I got back to my own city, when I got back to my own area, and everybody congratulated me and told me I was in a good fight, it put a lot of good spirits. It put a lot of good spirits in me. So even though I felt down and I went home straight away, just went to bed and just slept, I woke up the next day because there was a fundraiser the day after, and everybody was there. So everybody watched me on TV and then see me in person. It was just like, you know what, I loved everything what you did, and it's just nice to see somebody from the area being on TV. And it was just it was uplifting for me, because obviously I'm doubting myself thinking, Jesus, you know what I mean? You don't know what to do. And what I was more bothered about is it wasn't the view of myself. It was like, Jesus, what do other people think now? You know what I mean? The hype train has maybe got stopped. So I'm thinking to myself, Jesus, what do I do? Because obviously, boxing, it goes off, winning. But the best boxers lose, you know what I mean? So that's how it goes.
Of course, you have to appreciate you stepping in there as the away fighter in the first place.
Yeah.
And I mean, going into this one, and to be fair, even the loss from that fight, do you feel like your stock has grown?
Oh yeah, loads. I feel like my stock has grown loads, and I feel like my experience has grown loads because stepping out onto that big stage, that's like one of the biggest stages you're ever gonna get onto because there was a big main event on there anyway. So stepping in the same square circle with the same guys that are having the big fights, it was just nice to know that I can be a part of it. And I was on the main undercard, not on the YouTube before the main fight. So it was just nice to know that I can put myself in that environment and be respected for it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's nice. It's nice to get that exposure. You know what I mean?
Completely. And I was thinking off camera, I was thinking, who is possible opponents for it that you could fight for your title? I'm sure you're going to have to defend it at some point. And I mean, we had Jack Mantle say in a few fights he'd love to fight you for the title. But is there any fights for the moment that you're possibly looking at for the title?
No, not really. It's a funny one because we had a few shots and we had a few pull-outs. So I don't know. I think I've heard a lot of people said the Midlands belt is one of the hardest belts to get, and I was like, Jesus, well, how? You know what I mean? Because I want to get the other titles, but a lot of guys have come up to me and said the Midlands is one of the hardest ones to get before you start getting the other ones. So he said there's a few guys that I know that have got other titles and said they never won a Midlands. You know what I mean? So it's just nice to be put in that category first before I excel to other honours. So yeah.
Of course, and I'll leave with this final question. I'm sure getting back to winning ways is such a great thing for you, and how much did your family and your friends help you get through this period and get you to this point where you're at now, with now becoming victorious again?
You know what? It was the love that they showed me, and no one ever gave up on me. I got a lot riding on myself with other people. If I don't push through, it's like the others don't push through. Like I said, we had like another local talent that brought me out to the ring. So it all works in unison together. You know what I mean? So we're all riding on each other's back. So if I don't go through, it's not going to help the other person. If they don't go through, it's not going to help me. So at the same time, it's just nice to know that we all can work together to push ourselves to the next place.
Totally. Ryan, it's always a pleasure. Thank you very much, mate. Nice one.